welcome to the new podcast that I called the Human Wi-Fi podcast. My name is Sayuri and I'm the creator of the Human Wi-Fi, where I teach you how to connect with the right person for you. And what I mean with the right person, many people ask me is that for a romantic relationship? Well, depends. What I mean with the right person is that the person that makes sense in your life. So if you're looking for friendship, if you're looking for a job, for example, it's not only romantically, but everything that is connected to the people, the human. So depends on your goal. And today we are here to talk about the similarity between LinkedIn, Tinder, Instagram, and every kind of social media.
Oh my god, looks how cool is that, right? So I'm in my rooftop and clearly you're gonna check things here. So I hope you enjoy the podcast today. Anyway,
let me explain what I mean with Tinder, Instagram, LinkedIn, and everything else. This is my methodology. So the human Wi-Fi is the router and the signal. What is that? The router, it's you as a human. So when you're thinking about the Wi-Fi, we have a router which sends signal for others. And what is the router? What is you? You're made of two parts, the personal and the professional one. The other side of the coin is the signal that you send. And we're going to explain that today as well, because the signal is made of several things, but everything that it's not the router itself, it's the signal that I mean. So it can be the channel, like a book, can be LinkedIn, Instagram, and everything else. Can be also the social environment, so your friends, your partner, your work environment, but can also be your family. So everything that it's correlated to the router, and it's help the router to create the signal. That's what I mean with the signal, okay? Both together create what I call the human Wi-Fi. So in this podcast, I will teach you everything that I mean with this methodology. So therefore, you can connect with the right person for you. So that's why I mean doesn't need to be a relationship or romantically, but also works to find a job or to find friends. Because guys, even if you're in a workspace, people are people. They are the same. You just need to learn how to connect with them, and therefore you can bring your friends from your work to your personal level, or the opposite. You can make a company with your friends as well. So you see, it's not that divided. It's my friends here, my professional here. No, everything is you as a router. Okay. So what I mean with the Instagram, because the topic today is Instagram, LinkedIn, Tinder, and what all of them have in common. Actually, all of them are part of the signal. So what they have in common is the router. People think that LinkedIn and Tinder, it's totally opposite, but actually it's not, because they, as a Wi-Fi, they are just an adapter to help you to send the signal for more people, to make your signal strong. So when you say that they're different, of course they're different, but in the end, they're all social media, helping you or provide you the chance to connect with more people. So imagine that they are intensifiers of your router, and if your router is a bad router or a weak router, do you see the correlation? If your router is not good, the signal cannot be better. So if you're looking for example, for a job, and your router, so yourself, is not able to provide a good signal, can you see that the LinkedIn will not help you? So when I say you need to improve your router, so therefore you have a better signal, that's what I mean. You will not find a job if you don't have a really good router. You're not gonna find friends if you don't have a really good router, because they are just amplifier. They are just adapter from the thing that you already have or the thing that you already is, for example. What else? So I hope it's clear what I mean with that. What is the difference? The professional and the personal. Most of the people, I normally used to say that then most of the men normally focus a lot on the professional, so in the careers. And then when they try to make a partner, for example, on Tinder, they failed. Why they failed? Because the personal side of the router, it's weak. They don't understand how they can improve. Even though they are super good in the career, they don't understand why nobody cares about their personal level. And that, I say most of the men, because normally on the society, men are, from my society, sorry. So in Brazil, most of the men are looking for only for the career. They don't care about the personal level. And that's, I would say, a trick thing. Because if you don't care about your personal level, how can you find a person, So they focus a lot. So before creating the human Wi-Fi, I made a lot of research, like desk research and also interviews with people. And I realized that most of the men that I interviewed, they said I would buy a course only in my professional career, but they don't buy course to improve themselves as a person. And leads, what leads is like the personal side of their lives. It's really weak. So they're not funny. They don't know how to communicate the basics, their needs. They don't know how to set boundaries. They don't know themselves. So they don't do therapy. So everything that comes together makes your router weak. So you can be really good as a professional, but if you don't improve yourself as a person, the other one, when you use your intensifier, it's not gonna connect. Can you see it? It's clearly, right? That happens on the other way around as well. Sometimes you have a really, really, really good friend. She's really perfect. She knows how to do everything. But when she looks for a job, she cannot get a job. And then nobody understands why she cannot get a job, because she's perfect. But that happens because the router is weak on the professional level. So if she wants to get a job like in the finance, but she doesn't understand nothing about finance, she doesn't improve, she doesn't buy any course, she doesn't, create a better route for the router. Therefore, once she uses adapter or intensifier of her signal, it's impossible to find anyone that wants to connect with that. I hope you are following. Okay? So, what do you need to do to find a person? How can you actually connect? Basically, you need to use your router. You need to be really good on that. And therefore, you need to work on yourself. So, most of the people think that Tinder, for example, is not good for finding a partner, but that's so wrong. Why I'm saying that? It's because it's just like they say that Tinder are not good for a serious relationship, but this is so wrong. It's like a saying that LinkedIn is not good for finding a full job, it's just for freelancers. Can you see how absurd is that? Because actually, they're just intensifiers. So if you, as a router, are using LinkedIn with a purpose, with a clear goal of finding a full job, you can find a full job. But you need to find those people who also look for the full job. That happens exactly the same in Tinder. Well, I say Tinder, guys, but it's like could be Bumble, could be any kind of amplifier or channel that I mean here. Channels, can be any kind of social media. Can be a bar. I mean, most of the people say,
yeah, I am the old school. I prefer to find a partner as the old school mode, or I go to the bar. I mean,
that's cool. If you want to do the same, that's super cool. But you need to understand that the digital world works better if you want to amplify for more people, because the digital is just the same. It's just a mirror. If you're not good on the old school level, why do you think you're gonna be good on the digital ones? You need to be a stable router. If you're not good in both, like in the digital or in the offline world, you're not gonna be good on the other side. That happens. What else? So why it's good to understand about Tinder or about LinkedIn? Because that's an opportunity for you to be authentic. So if you as a professional cannot be yourself, like in the interview, because you feel that the other company prefers someone, I don't know, more formal, I would say, like you need to use a really suit to work, but you don't feel good wearing suit, can you see that it's gonna be hard for you to be authentic? And therefore the signal that you're gonna transmit, it's gonna be a signal saying, hey, watch out, because I'm not feeling comfortable, so therefore it's something odd. I cannot trust in this person. So the recruiter will not, she probably will not understand what's going on, but she didn't connect with you, and therefore you're not gonna pass. That happened on the social level or the relationship as well, so in the Tinder. So if you're not comfortable being yourself, like in the bar or talking to a person because you didn't feel that you guys connected, you're gonna send a message that it's clearly wrong. The person will not gonna trust you, and therefore you're not gonna connect. As I said, I made a lot of interview to create this methodology, and most of the people told me that a crucial thing for them is like a trustful. They need to trust on the other person to be actually friends. So every kind of things that makes you feel uncomfortable makes you feel not trustful, because it's like you're faking, because it's not you. So if you cannot be authentic, it's gonna be hard for you to actually send a good sign. Okay? Another thing that I also need to explain here in this formula is that you can be really good as a router, and you can be in the right person. You can be the right person in the right place, but if you don't understand the technique about the connection, like if you don't plug in the energy, you're not gonna be a human Wi-Fi, because it doesn't matter if you have a router with in the right place. If you don't know how to connect both, like specifically a technique, you're not gonna be a Wi-Fi. And of course, here comes some tips that I can provide you with. That's why I want to bring awareness with this human Wi-Fi.
what is the tip that I want to give you?
First of all, what is the right and what is the wrong way of approaching people? Most of the people like to talk about themselves, and this is human. People like to talk about themselves. What you can do when you want to connect with the right person is to make questions. Make questions. Being interested in the other person. If you only keep talking about yourself, it's gonna be, first of all, boring, and second of all, you cannot understand about the other person as well. And remember, connection is between two parts. So if you only talk about yourself, you don't allow the other person to know you. You don't allow yourself to know the other person. So making questions is crucial and makes you interesting. And also another thing that you can do is like a paraphrase. So if I say that, I don't know, I'm explaining my methodology for you. If you want to connect with me, one good thing that you could do is like a paraphrase what you understand so far.
I say, so actually the human Wi-Fi is a way of building myself, building my router. Therefore, I can send a better signal to others. Yes.
I mean, the person is gonna be super like, oh my god, she's listening to what I'm saying. So this is also a technique that you can use while you are talking to someone. Another thing that you could do is, it's kind of silly to say, but a lot of people do anyway. They interrupt, or they catch something that the person is saying, and then they sweep and try to talk about themselves. So, for example, I'm explaining about how I met Diego. So I met Diego on Tinder, for example. I mean, not for example, that's true. And imagine that I'm saying, yeah, I met Diego and then we started to dating, and then you jump into the conversation and say,
oh, you really? Yeah. I met David as well, yeah, and since then we are together. We went to lunch and we love each other so much. We're gonna get married next year.
Can you see how bizarre and how sad this conversation went? Because I was talking about myself. I want to share information about myself, and then suddenly you jump in the conversation, sweep the conversation towards you. That's really bad, and a lot of things people normally do, meaning that you're actually not paying attention on the other person. Feels like you don't give a shit with the other person. So try to listen. It's really hard sometimes, and I know that, but you need to listen. Until the person feels like, okay, it's enough, and then why don't you try to make a question, be more interesting. Oh, like,
really? You met Diego on Tinder? That's nice. How was that? It's like you guys are together for how long? That's impressive. Oh, really? That's nice.
So, make a comment. Try to be interested in the other person. If you don't do that, honey, you're gonna lose the opportunity of connection, and also to learn about the other person as well, because the word is not only about you.
Okay. Well, I explained a wrong way of doing. I explained to you the right way of doing, and
what I want to say. Okay, so here are 3 tips that you can do to improve your approach with others. Because I told you that you need to be really good as a router, right? How can you know if you are good or not? Well, go and ask your friends. I know it's gonna sound bizarre because nobody asks for feedback for a friend, but actually I do ask feedback for my friends. So normally what I do is a kind of a survey. I reach out to people that I most like. It's not every kind of people, it's for people that I care about their opinion. And I say, hey,
can you tell me what you think about me? Can you tell me what you like about me? What makes you be my friend?
Then sometimes for the first time, it's gonna sound bizarre, but it's really good for you to understand what people appreciate in you. Most of the time that I do this kind of survey, what I listen to is people really appreciate that they can count on me for everything, that I'm funny, that I'm creative, that I'm super supportive. So a lot of people tells me that,
oh my god, I'd love to be your friend because you always support me in a good way. You are super positive, the vibe and so on.
Most of the people also doesn't know what they like about you, but they just like, and therefore you can make questions like, okay,
what did I did for the first time that makes you like me, or that makes you want to be around me?
One thing that you need to understand also is that people normally don't think about it, so it's gonna be hard in the beginning for them to come in the conclusion. And you as a router, you're changing a lot. You can change your why you can change a lot. I mean, for example, I moved to another country. I am totally different from the person that I was before, and not only because I moved it, but also because my dog passed away, and after 16 years together, he was my son, and I got a depression, and I changed a lot. So the people that met me in the beginning when I moved or probably will not recognize me as much as the people that I'm meeting now, because I think the vibe that I'm showing and the way I approach myself, it's totally different. And I think this is not only a period of my life, but this is the person that I become. So you as a person, you can change as well. How you can change yourself? If you start to connect with different people, like in different social environment, or like something changing your family, so these also provoke a different signal, and this signal changes the router. Okay, so for example, in my life, what changed? First of all, the social environment, so I changed my country, and the second of all, I changed my family, so a part of me was gone, and therefore all the signal that I started to send to people changed, and all this environment that I created before is made me different as a router. So if you want to change the way you are as a router, so if you want to change a job, if you want to change friends, if you want to find a partner, I mean, if you want to find a apartment as well, you can make friends for that, seriously, because the apartment that I'm living here, so today I'm in my rooftop. This place I found because of friends. So actually, connections and network works for everyone. But sorry, what I was saying, if you want to find a partner, you need to define what is the right partner for you. That's why I say I teach you how to connect with the right person. This can be everything. If you don't know what kind of person you want to, if you don't know the right person for you, can you see the mistake is gonna happen? People normally connect with the wrong person for them, and then they think, oh, why we started this relationship in the first place. This happened also always. This happened with job, this happened with friendship, this happened with relationship. If you don't know what kind of people you want to be around, if you don't know what kind of signal you want to be receiving or sharing, you're gonna make the huge mistake in your life. Because then people normally say, yeah, I hate this job, I cannot find another one. But do you know what kind of job do you want? Because if you don't know, how can you reach that, for example? To finish, what I want you to understand is that it needs to be a balance in your professional, in your personal level. If you don't understand who you are as a professional or who you are as a person, and if you don't go further in this knowledge, it's gonna be hard for you to show or to share your signal with others. And if you don't find those people that you want to connect with, you cannot become a human Wi-Fi and connect with people. So this is really rational. I was discussing that with another friend, because he said connection is not rational, it's like emotional. And I mean, in certain level, I agree, it is emotional, but the approach and the way is totally rational. You need to understand about you need to understand where you need to go, what kind of people you need to reach, and use strategic stuff and actions, so therefore you can connect all the dots. Okay, What else would you be able to share? Oh, a question that I want to share with you in the end is like most of the people think that Instagram or LinkedIn or Tinder are totally apart from the world. It's like they are person A and person B in different kind of platform, but this is a mistake. So people get so angry when a recruiter, for example, from LinkedIn try to search them on Instagram, and they don't understand why they do that. Because I will give a practical example. Imagine that you are going out with a guy, and this guy looks really professional on their LinkedIn. He's like a CEO of blah 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 blah. In the end, he's from his own company, and that's fine, no judgment. But he's like a CEO, and then you are in a first date, and the guy in the restaurant started to shout to the waitress. Then he's like, oh my god, what kind of this guy is? And he started to say things that it's not nice. For example, I don't know, I'm pro Trump. That's not nice, you know. But you would know if you actually Google his Instagram, because it's clearly. Can you see that it's not a good person for you to be dating with if you don't want to be around those people? And that's fine, you know, guys. There is 7 billion people in the world. You don't need to connect with all of them. You need to connect with the right people for you. And you don't need to be a people pleasing. You can actually have a lot of friends. You can actually have a really good job. You can actually have a really good partner if you know what kind of person you are looking for. So in this example that I gave you, would be clearly not the right person for her or for him if he know both sides. Because you should be able to be yourself in the professional level, in the personal level. If you are faking in any of those levels, you're probably not gonna be in a really long-term relationship. That can be friends, that can be relationship like romantically, but that can also be in your job, because you need to be stable, a stable sign. Okay, I think I talked too much. I hope that you like it. This is my new and my first episode. I'm really proud of this work. I've been working and searching a lot to be able to explain all my methodology. How can I integrate it in Berlin society? How can I find a really good job? How can I find a really good partner? Because this is all about being human, you know. This is all about something that if you follow the steps, you can achieve and you can connect with the right person for you. You don't need to be people pleasing. You don't need to fake something that you're not. You don't need to, you just need to be a good human, you know, because otherwise, honey, that's terrible. Anyway, if you have questions, if you like this channel, if you like the concept, if you are interested more about the human Wi-Fi, please follow me on social media. I also share my content on LinkedIn as well. Also share on Instagram. I just don't share on Tinder because I'm married and I agreed with my husband that I wouldn't go for Tinder anymore, you know. So on Tinder, I'm off. But any other social media, please follow, please like, please share with your friends, and please learn more about creating connections, because actually that also helped me to make more friends. Okay. If you have any questions, please comment and follow me for more. Thank you for watching. See you.